Hi there and welcome to another video in winCC tutorials, and we are rapidly running out of things to look at in this simple objects tool, but I think we've got two left here, and what we're just going to do is show them both, which is what the first one is a graphics view, and it's simply, if we go into the properties here, you can set the border styles and everything else. You can set your tags for appearance and diagonal movement, etc. And in the general, you can set a particular graphic. So just in the same way that we have found other graphics in the past, you can go to your folder here and go to your pictures folders, which I will try and find my pictures, and you could pull out one. There we go, and there we go, we've got a nice picture of deep thought there. Okay, so you can use that for backgrounds or anything else that is useful to make your HMI look a little better. Okay, you can use them for switches, you can develop your own switches. Again, we have looked at this in the past and said that you can use Paint or any graphics package, GIMP if you're using Linux a lot or things like that, to develop your own symbols, pictures, whatever you like. One of the last fields here is, of course, the date and time. Again, you're probably getting the idea now that most of these objects here work very similarly, and that their general properties here are all the same. So again, you've got the animations, you can make them appear or disappear, do certain things when flags are on and off. You can change the text colours and the backgrounds and everything else, so we could make that blue text on a yellow background, you know, with a red border again, and make it solid. So there you've got the time. Now the only other thing that you have here is you can change them to be an input and output, or just an output. So you can allow the operator to change the time by clicking onto it, or if you just want to view the time, then you can just set it as an output. Again, you can click whether you display the date or the time only, or both, whether you set it as a long format so that you've got the whole day name and the month name, or you can use a tag. So if at the moment it's set to system time, so this will pick up the time that the HMI is actually running in its own system clock. For most purposes that's just fine. If it's just for a display purpose. If it's something that you want to change, then you'll need to use a tag, and again you'll need to set up a tag. You can click a new here, set it for date, time. We can call it let's call it internal underscore date. Set the date type to date time and set it as an internal. There are a few more properties, add comments and linear scales and various other things, upper and lower limits, which you wouldn't use on a date time function really. High limits, you can set the high limit so that somebody can't put in a value more than 24, for example, for the hours, and the basic things there. But that's just really what you would want to do, to be able to read, say, a date time from your PLC or anything, except you would have to put this into the connection and connect this to your PLC so that you could get the PLC time, or you could change the value from your PLC. For the moment we'll just, oops, not connection one, click, we'll just leave it on internal. Okay, so there you've got an internal tag, and you could set that date time from somewhere else on your screens. So those are really just the last two objects that you find on your simple objects. We'll start looking at some of the other objects later, and we'll start doing a few things that are probably more useful to you as a programmer and how to set things up. I hope these basic or simple objects videos have been useful and helpful to you. Don't forget that some of these are only graphics and they're not actually switches or buttons, but you can incorporate those graphics onto your buttons that we did at the very early stages of these tutorials. So if you're not quite sure, you can run back and find out which tutorials they are. I think they're within the first 5 or 6 anyway, and how to change the graphics on buttons and switches and add some of these ones to them. Alright, I hope that's been helpful and useful, and we will see you on